Yeah, I mean, look, these trade rumors are really starting to make sense. Not only did the Eagles trade one quarterback away, that, they could be trading another one as well. And it's really starting to connect because it's to a coach that was just in Philadelphia. And we're going to be talking about another safety the Eagles are very interested in, news by Tony Pauline. And we're going to be talking about trading back. What are you charging teams? What would it take for the Eagles to trade back in this draft? And what are you charging teams that are trying to call and move up for that 32nd pick? We're going to talk about all that, so let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. This video is sponsored by BetUS. Definitely go check them out if you guys have not. So, a lot to discuss here because when you get these rumors about trades with the Eagles or specific players getting released, however it may go, when you hear news later on, certain things start to connect a little bit. And I want to go kind of rewind a little bit and go back to the Tanner McKee news we got a couple weeks ago that there were teams calling for his services. Us Eagle fans have been happy. Like, finally, Tanner McKee is going into 25 with the Eagles as the backup quarterback. We've always thought that he was just better than what he was, okay? He should have never been a third stringer, okay? And he finally is going to get his opportunity now, and I'm glad the Eagles have woke up a little bit on Tanner McKee because I think we've all been kind of saying that a little bit. So we're very happy for him. But now there's some news going on and from connection that teams have been calling the Eagles for Tanner McKee's services, okay? We don't know what teams. These are just little rumblings. And like I said, you take little, crumbs, you pick them up and you say, I won't make this too much big of a deal of news. But then when certain things happen, you start to wonder, I wonder if these rumors are true. Okay. Now, the New Orleans Saints are dealing with a problem right now. We know Kellen Moore is there as the new head coach. And it looks like Derek Carr has a significant shoulder injury. He's weighing his options right now to either not get surgery and just try to get back as early as possible or to get surgery and miss more time. So it looks like Derek Carr will be missing more time. I don't know when this shoulder injury happened, but connection to Tanner McKee and some of the trade rumors there could be a connection where Kellen Moore might try to trade for Tanner McKee as the backup quarterback or the starting quarterback or whatever they're doing over there in New Orleans as of the 2025 season. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen here, but like I said, you always try to connect things. Kellen Moore, has been trying to take all of our coaches. We all know that from this past offseason. So why not sign the quarterback that you've worked with or kind of know how to use or already have a good relationship with instead of getting someone that's brand new or another guy you have on your roster right now that's probably not going to do much, okay? So this is, like I said, take this with a grain of salt, but we connect things like this and it could possibly happen. I mean, they trade Kenny Pickett and would they actually trade Tanner McKee? See, the Eagles' new philosophy at backup quarterback now is they like to sign guys that have some value or sign guys that they want to build up in value, and then they want to trade those guys. When they trade for Kenny Pickett, I said they're going to use him for a couple years and then trade him. Okay, even Tanner McKee. If Tanner McKee gets just a little bit of playing time, okay, just to have a little bit of tape of what he could do, go right into a game and throw 2-3 touchdowns, whatever he did in the game that he played in. That's it's a little mini resume. It's good to have, for a lot of teams to be like, oh, he's actually pretty good in the pocket. You know what I mean? So this opens up for the Eagles if they trade Tanner McKee. Now you have two quarterbacks and Dorian Thompson from the Browns. When we trade Pickett, we got a 5th round in Dorian Thompson, whatever his name is. Two similar skill sets in Jalen Hurts and Dorian Thompson, which is great. You know what I mean? You have to get two quarterbacks prepared every week that have two different skill sets in McKee and Hurts. And, not like the Eagles are not used to it by now, but you have to get those two guys prepared. it's like two different offenses. You can't put, McKee in a Jalen Hurts type offense. He's more of a pocket guy. He's not the most athletic guy in the world either. So you got to be kind of fair to that too. Maybe it just takes a lot off their plate if they keep two guys that are very similar. And, if they can get a draft pick for him, I mean, it is what it is. Like, what is he get? What are the Eagles going to get? A fifth rounder for this year or next year, the year after that? It'll be a draft pick it probably won't be a pick for this year. It could be the next 2 years as well. As long as he gets a pick, we'll see what happens. So I thought this news was really interesting. And we'll see what happens down the road with Tanner McKee. We'll see what happens down the road with Derek Carr. We'll be keeping close attention to that. No doubt about it. Now, Tony Pauline put out some news on another safety the Eagles have interest in, and Andrew McKee from Texas says the Eagles have shown interest in Andrew McKee. It says McKee had 5 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 41 solo tackles for the Longhorns in 2024. He was one of the best safeties in the class, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson's departure in Philly, it looks like a prime candidate to fill his shoes. Okay, now Vic is starting to look at guys that are his type of guys. Okay, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson obviously was here before Vic got here. Realistically, even when he was he was helping out the offense. Yes, Vic was helping out the offense to give us sculpture on some of the defenses they're going to see and how the offense should prepare for it in 2022 before he became the defensive coordinator here, in 24 with the Eagles. Okay. Vic is finally going to get his own hybrid type guy. Now, Makumba is a late second, early third round pick. So not only have they looked at first round talent, they're looking at a lot of second day talent, a lot here. Okay. Rangy, hybrid guy. The versatility is off the charts. Ball hawk, you name it. This guy has everything to his tape. Okay. In his resume. So like I said, this is the opportunity for Vic Fangio now, is starting to get his own specific guys. Howie Roseman was like, here's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Use him. Great player. This is what he's good at. This is what he's bad at. And let's just use him. We'll win a Super Bowl with him. And they did, which was great. So, but Vic Fangio didn't handpick Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Howie Roseman, like I said, Chauncey was here before anything. Then he gets traded, and now there's a big hole at that position. And this has been like the big question of the offseason. That's safety. Safety's becoming a glaring need. Tight end is becoming a glaring need, and it's going to be a glaring need. So you can't have enough defensive linemen, you can have as many as you want. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in this draft. And since the combine, the Eagles have had a lot of interest in safety, a lot. They did a lot of interviews at the combine, and we were wondering why they were doing so many safety interviews, because we were pretty much set. Chauncey got traded, and then we kind of said, okay, well, this is the direction that they're going now. So, we'll see what happens with that. So another safety, seems like it's very serious interest. So we'll see what happens with that. But glad to see that safety is on top of their, on top of their charts right now to get this right for the future. Now, obviously, this is a Howie Roseman offseason as usual. One of the probably the second quietest offseason we've ever been through. But when you're drafting really well, you're going to have off seasons like this. When you have a bad team and, you let 20 or more guys go off a roster to free agency, and you don't have much cap, this is what happens, man. You know what I mean? So, you're going to have off seasons like this, but we're talking about trade backs. All right. There's already rumors that there's going to be 3 quarterbacks taken off the board in the first round, which is great. Every quarterback, every offensive lineman, take as many of those, take as many offensive players, receiver. I don't care what it is. Okay, take as many offensive players off the board as possible, because the Eagles need as much help as they possibly can, but somebody is always going to drop, okay? A trade up to a certain extent is a trade up, whether it's 1 to 5 spots. I don't think they can go much further than that. Teams are not stupid enough to say, hey, there might be one dumb team out there, but teams are going to let the Eagles jump like 15 spots, 10 spots and be like, hey, oh, yeah, sure, and give up absolutely nothing for that. Especially a lot of these teams know now that the Eagles have 12 picks in this draft in 26. So you can't use all those picks because the comp picks have not been rewarded to us until next offseason in 26, but you can still use some of the remaining picks that you have and the third-round conditional that you got in the Hassan Reddick trade. Now, if you're trading back, okay, and teams are going to call. And when you're at 32, there's going to be a lot of teams calling, okay? I don't know who has the 33rd, 34th pick. I have to look over again. But I'm not giving up. I'm not trading this pick back unless we're getting a first-round pick for next year. Or it's literally the pick right after that. I'm not even kidding. Howie Roseman won't trade that pick back 10, 11 spot. It's not going to happen because if there's like 4 or 5 guys still on the board and Howie Roseman feels like he can get more value out of trading back, getting maybe a pick for next year, and then on top of getting that, maybe 33rd, 34th, 35, I'm willing to move like 3 or 4 spots in the second round, okay, if that's the case. Okay, because I don't think it's going to be worth moving 10, 15, and then you're going to be missing out on the remaining guys that you really want. So it really has to be worth it. So if there's a team right behind us going on the second day that wants to move up to that 32nd, you got to charge a fortune for it. And I'm talking a lot. I'm telling you, I want your first-round pick for next year. You want a first-round talent, I want your first-round pick for next year. I want to take a team's soul for trading up. Okay, trading back, whatever. The last time the Eagles traded back, I think, the Baltimore Ravens got Lamar Jackson. I think that was the last time the Eagles traded back in the first round. I could be mistaken. Don't kill me in the comments. But, you want a ransom of picks. You really do. You may not, guys, you may not think that 32nd pick is important, but it is. It really is. Especially how that board drops. If, everyone is gone and there's nobody left, the Eagles will still get phone calls regardless because there's going to be, needs that the Eagles have. And on the second day, if they trade back, then there's a team that wants to trade up in the first round for a position we don't need that's left. So it's a combination of different things that could happen there. But if you're trading back, it's got to be within 5 picks. And if it's literally 2 picks behind us, a pick behind us on the second day, Howie Roseman is not going to be stupid enough to give that for free or just a pick swap no, you don't do that. You don't do that for the 32nd pick. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be really interesting. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We talked about Derek Carr's shoulder injury, Tanner McKee trade. The rumors are starting to connect a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about that. Andrew Makuba, another second-day safety that they could be getting. It's starting to see a little pattern here. And we're talking about Howie Roseman. Do you think he trades up? Do you think he trades back? What would it take for you to trade back in this draft? What would have to happen going forward? So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you like the video because it helps out tremendously. Love you all. See you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.